When did you guys hear about the tragedy that happened with your family member?
December 6th, 1925, on my birthday. 2025. Oh, 2025, on my birthday.
And what did you hear? What were those emotions like on that day?
I will let Emily answer that because Emily was my son's emergency contact, and she is the one that received the call. So
It it was horrible. I At first I thought I was being pranked, I didn't think that it was real. And I the lady kept asking me, where's your mom? I think your mom needs to be here. And I just told her, I said, just tell me what's wrong. Just tell me. And she kept like procrastinating. And I said, is my brother dead? And she still wouldn't tell me. So I flew to my mom's store and I busted through that door, and it was just horrible. I couldn't think, I couldn't speak. All I could do was scream and cry.
and then she kept on saying, it's Kenny, it's Kenny, it's Kenny. And she handed me the phone, and I was like, hello. I like, who are you? What's going on? And she said, she asked me my name. I said my name. I was like, well, who the hell are you? You need to tell me something. What? And said that they found my son, Kenneth Michael Wade Clanton. Kenneth Michael Wade Clanton. I, I want that name out there. And said that they found him deceased. And then
And then my sister called me, and I couldn't understand her at first because she was crying and yelling so much. And then when she finally got it out little by little, I kind of already knew. My body kind of went into a shock, and I started shaking, and I had to get off the phone with her. And my husband took the phone from me, and had to set me down because I was about to pass out. And uh, there was no feeling. I've never felt anything like that in my life.
Yeah.
It was just disbelief on my part. I didn't really think it was real at first. I thought they had somebody else. So I got mixed up somewhere. I kept calling his number. And, it's like she said, I had to calm my wife down. And took me a minute to get her in the car, and we had to run over here to Ballinger, about 15 miles away from where we live. So
I woke up that morning at about 11:58, and the first thing I did was text my brother because he was supposed to come and bring puppies to give to people. And the message, it's a voice message on my phone still. I told him, Kenneth Michael Wade Clanton, you better answer this phone right now, and love you, bye. And so that's what I texted him the first thing I did when I woke up that morning.
Oh
Before I
gosh.
knew.
Yep. I'm so sorry to hear that that's how that all went down. We're a couple of days after the fact now. Where are your guys' heads at with everything that you've heard about this and dealing with the loss of your son, brother?
um with what we do know and everything, it's anger for sure. But I'm putting that part aside right now. It's with me. I'm numb. I'm numb from head to toe. I mean, I should be bawling my eyes out right now. And I go through my crying jags. Just all of a sudden I'll start crying, and then boom, it stops. And I'm just numb right now. That I have not gotten to see him yet. Um, I need to make phone calls to when I'm able to go back down to Georgetown, and so I can see my boy. and make arrangements for my boy to come home. But I am numb.
It's been an emotional roller coaster for the past couple days.
We're up, we're down, we're screaming, we're crying.
Hitting things.
We've yelled at each other
Yeah.
and said sorry afterwards because we just don't know where to place our emotions or our feelings right now. So we kind of take it out on each other and then apologize for
Yeah.
it.
We love each other.
Yes,
We're very
because
close knit.
Yeah.
we've got that's one thing with my trio. I have with my trio, with my kids, they are the closest siblings ever. I don't care what's going on, if they were fighting or whatever, but if something happened or somebody said something the wrong way, I don't care if they just beat the hell out of each other. Uh, they came together. They stuck up for each other no matter what. My kids were the closest kids ever, and this has shattered all of our hearts. Our hearts are shattered.
And Lydia, you told me over the phone a little bit about the relationship that your brother had with, we'll call them his roommates. Can you kind of talk to me about that and kind of, you said you wanted to
Yes.
clear some stuff up about that to kind
Yes.
of put some of this into light. So go ahead and tell me a little bit about that.
Nothing.
I know. So yeah, my brother met James. We call him Jim. A few years ago, and it was over 5 years ago, and it was, it started out a certain way. Uh, Jim was a doctor and married for a long time, and he had things in the closet about himself, and so when he divorced his wife, he was able to kind of live the way he wanted to live. And so my brother and him met online, and
They started a relationship.
they started having a relationship, and Jim fell in love with my brother, and my brother was always there for Jim, and Jim's always been there for my brother. And Jim was in the process of paying for Kenny to go to trucking school so Kenny could become, a self-efficient member of society. And, yes, they were on drugs, but they loved each other. They took care of each other. And I was telling my mother, I believe one or the other, died protecting the other.
Yes.
Because that's how much they loved each other. And I know it's weird to a lot of people, and it is what it is, but there was love there. It wasn't my brother putting him in a situation that he didn't need to be in. It was them loving each other and helping each other.
Yes.
So then let me ask you this for a little further point of clarification, because it sounds like there was a third person who lived in this house.
Right.
Do you guys know who this Justice Washington was and what was the relationship?
Okay, I'm not commenting on that.
Okay. Okay. Um, that's fine. That's totally okay. Um, let's talk then about the kind of person that your brother and son were.
He was extraordinary. He was the most loving, kind, compassionate man. I don't care. He would give you anything, the shirt off his back. If you needed anything, I don't care what it was. If you needed anything, he was going to make sure you got it. Somehow, some way. He loved everybody. He took care of everybody. His heart was bigger than life.
Was.
He did struggle with the drug addiction. We all have.
Yeah,
We're
all
years
recovering
clean.
addicts.
But my brother was still stuck in that cycle, and but
And that does not mean, I'm sorry to interrupt, and that does not mean just because my son was still an active addict, that does not mean my son was a bad person
because he was
or a scumbag
Yeah.
or a junkie or a lowlife. No addicts are that. They just have a problem. That does not mean that they are bad people. Drug addicts are not bad people. Drug addicts are human just like you and I. They have families, and they have families that love them.
Yes.
Got a bunch of kids that love him, down here, and we just seen him, he brought Christmas down,
A lot of
Yeah.
Christmas for the
and
kids.
he was just a natural at everything he done, and I had no doubt in my mind he would have been one of the nation's best truck drivers.
Yes.
In about 3 weeks, he was getting his permit,
He was 3 weeks from getting his truck driving permit.
He was
And that
doing it to turn his life
around.
That was the plan. They were all three going to get clean together, and
Sorry, that was my Cracker Jack girl.
But my brother was so free spirited. He always, like, even if you didn't like to hear something, he'd tell you how he felt and how it was.
He was very blunt.
Yeah, a very blunt person,
but very loving.
But
also.
very, very loving. Yes.
And
he did everything with love.
Yes. And so, like, between me and my sister, we have 8 children, and he just loved them, like
those
Uncle
8
Kenny, yeah.
Those 8 babies were his babies.
Yes.
And so, moving forward now, as police continue investigating and they've released some updates on what happened, they're giving that out to the public. What do you guys, as his family, want people to know further that you haven't mentioned about your son, your brother, as the investigation continues and the people start learning more about what happened in Georgetown over the weekend?
I just want them to know that this is a tragedy not only for us, but for James's family also. And my heart goes out to his family.
Mine does too.
Also. And that lost train of thought, hold on. That just because of the relationship that those 2 men had does not, they do not look down upon them. Do not say they were freaks. Do not keep, if you have nasty comments
Keep them to yourself.
about because their sexual preference
and their age
difference. Keep it to yourself.
Please.
Because my brother loved that man, and that man loved my brother. And he's been down here on several occasions.
And been with our family.
He has,
went to the lake with us, everything.
Talking about Jim.
Just, my brother was a full of life, spirited person, and he deserves
respect
and a bright light to be shined on him, not a dark one.
Not a dark one. Because this, and they might blame this on my brother, and this is not his fault. This is not Jim's fault either.
This is in somebody else's hands, not my son or James.
Absolutely. You guys, thank you for all the comments that you made. I appreciate you guys jumping on with me this afternoon. I will ask, is there anything else that I didn't ask you or that you didn't mention that you'd like to share with me about the situation or your family member?
I just want everyone just to send out prayers to both our families.
Yes.
because
And, you know, it's hard because we can't really tell you anything because we don't really know anything still. Our minds are racing with the questions about what happened and how it happened
and why it happened
and why my brother, who's so strong and can fight for himself, how he was overpowered and how this happened, like what were the circumstances. And it's hard for us because we have to think about him suffering. We have to think about if he thought about us or if he suffered in his last moments or if it was quick or if it wasn't quick. And this, at least we know, you know, with James, kind of how things went down. We don't know what happened with Kenny.
no.
We don't know. We don't know because he was alone in his last moments. So that's the hardest part.
That is the hardest part.
Oh,
And
again,
I just pray to God that it was instant and that he did not suffer.
absolutely. You guys, once again, I'm so sorry for your loss. Prayers to your family and James's. Again, thank you guys so much for taking a few minutes to speak with me. I'm sure this was difficult to do. I could see the emotion in all of your faces. So thank you for being so brave and coming on and sharing this. And I hope we can get the message out about who James was and, you know, a better picture for you and your family.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course, you guys take care. I hope today, each and every day gets better for you guys. Again, thank you for jumping on with me. It was great meeting all of you.
Yes, you
so
too.
much.
Thank you.
Okay. You guys have a good rest of your day.
Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and get the latest news by downloading the CBS Austin News app.